Times our dreams seem very real. And since that seems like that at times, are dreams another type of a reality? Are they? When we enter into our dream state, are they another reality? It's true that in the real life, we could be, say you've got a problem that you need to figure out in the real world, and you've been pondering and pondering all day long. You wore yourself out trying to figure out a problem. Then you go to sleep, and in your dream state, you're shown something concerning your problem, how to do it, and then you wake up, and then boom, you say, I know it. I know exactly what I need to do. I know how to fix it now. I know everything I need to do. Why? Because when you went to sleep, you were shown something in your dream state. The two are connected. The two are connected because when you're in your real world, when you're working on something and you can't figure it out, and you go to sleep, and that consciousness is somehow carried over into your dream state, and it somehow goes to work searching, and like something else, another type of consciousness or something, is able to interact with you in your dream state and show you what you need to do. And you could say, like, when people have visions, it's from another realm other than, the realm that you're in right now. You can be in your physical realm and you can have a vision of what is happening or what will happen or what has happened. It's like this vision has the ability, when you see things, to look in the past, the present, and the future. Same way with the dream state. When you have dreams, it has the ability to send you back into the past, because you do revisit the past, and you do in your dream state. I revisited my past last night, a part of my past, but it had, you know, my present in it also, and it had part of the future in it also. And it's a really interesting thought. It's a really interesting concept. Why would they like to do studies, and why do they do studies on REM sleep and on the dream state? Why are they going to stick all those wires on people's head and study them to see what activity and stuff is occurring and where is it occurring? And why when you do regressive therapy, I've never had it done. Good morning. Regressive therapy or whatever, to try to get you to remember what happened. It's like they have figured out a way to tap into your consciousness, which really it's not activated right then and there. But if they can get you to a point, then they can awaken that part of you and look back into time, even the time that you physically do not remember. Look back in time and see what event happened. How can events that have happened, even with abductions, alien abductions, how can they go back and find out what happened? If you physically say, I don't know what happened, but when they do, they go back and they find out what happened. How do they have the ability, and why would they? Isn't just the mere thought of knowing that they will, and they know that if they go back in time, They can bring out what happened. It is as if the people who do this, the professionals, the scientists, the academic, it's like they are acknowledging the other realm. They're acknowledging it. Otherwise, they would not have the tests that they do on your heads and stuff. They would not have people doing regression therapy and stuff. And you wouldn't be going to like counselors or stuff if it did not affect you physically and traumatically and emotionally. They're literally, they are admitting there's much more to this physical realm than what meets the eye. And it affects us internally, our consciousness, our emotions, the spiritual part of us, you all. Hello and good morning. Um, so is the dream world another reality? And it kind of, I think it is. I really do. If you can have like something going on in your everyday life that you've been trying to figure out and you just can't get it, and when you go to sleep, the answer appears in your dream, or you're shown something by someone in your dream. And it could even be a familiar person, or you could find yourself in a different place and you see it right then and there. It's like that other realm has the ability to connect with you in your physical world, but they can only do it through your dream state. And or if you're open in your real world on the inside, it can reach in and send you the message. If you are connected, you can receive the message that you need to figure out your problem. If you get in a certain state of mind and a heart space within you, you can. Good morning, you all. So that's right. I was sitting there drinking coffee with my husband in front of the fireplace, and I thought, well, I'm not going to get on the YouTube. I'm not going to check nothing, and because I made a mess in the basement. I got to go down there. It's a good thing I moved things around in the basement, you all. It really is, because I have this pipe. When we bought this house as a foreclosure, in the basement, it was unfinished. There were two pipes, drainage pipes, that were coming up from the basement floor around a foot. And the original person who built that log cabin, they were going to put like a bathroom down there, and they never got around to it, so they left the pipes up there. And I just put like duct tape over them and stuff. We never did anything down there. I just piled it up until we built the addition on for my mom and dad when he got really sick. And we used one of the drain pipes, and we tied it in, ran it down into the basement, elbow straight into the thing. But had I not pulled the stuff out of the way down there, I would not have saw the elbow that went into the thing. It had the PVC glue was not, it broke down over time. It didn't last. So I had like a little spill. It had slow drip on my carpet area right there. So I cut the carpet out, and I took care of the problem. And I've got a fan finishing drying the area right there. But had I not done that, I wouldn't have done it. So that was a little bit of mess, but it turned out good for me because I saw something and I fixed it. But yeah, sorry about that. Let's see what we got going on, you all. Your dream states are also real, Johanna. Um, you love being in your dreams, and we can control our dreams. Yeah, if you've went to dream and you were dreaming something and you woke up and you thought, well, I'm going to continue that dream when I go back to sleep. How is it that you can have control over that part? You can tell your consciousness, I'm going to go back to that dream. And then sometimes you go, I really want to go back to it. And you try and try and try while you're dreaming and you can't go back. Or sometimes, if you have a terrible dream and it ends in one area, and then the next night you dream, you go back to that area. Consecutive dreams. You know how they say if you dream things 3 times in a row, it's going to come true? Is that true, or where did they even come up with that concept, you all? Where did they? You wrote a chapter about your dreams and informations that you received is in your book, Johanna. That's interesting. Um, there are those who, why did they have dream catchers? Why did they make dream catchers? Um, and like that song, Mr. Sandman, send me a dream, make it the sweetest that I've ever seen, or something. Mr. Sandman, bring me a dream. Sandman. Is there really a Sandman? You know, I know it's just like hypothetically speaking, is there really someone who is in control of the dream state and what happens in the dream realm? Is there someone in control of it? And there are references saying your is it the young men will have visions and the old men will have dreams, or is it vice versa? The old men, the old people will have visions, and the young ones will have dreams. Which, how is that going? Because it speaks about that. It really does. And then you have Jacob, Jacob's ladder, how he wrestled. He wrestled with this angel all night long, or they referred to it as like another man in the dream state, wrestled all night long. And the angel or the man, the other person from the realm, the angel, let's just call it an angel, angelic realm, grabbed his thigh, and he had a problem with his thigh after that. He said, I'm not going to release you until you do something. Remember that? That was in the dream state. So is the dream state another realm? And that connects to this realm because we are able to connect. And sometimes, um, yeah, sometimes this, the dream state is another realm. I can't read the comments because I get off my train of thought. So that's really, thank you for your comments, Johanna. I do get sidetracked because I can't think when I read comments if I'm trying to do something. And yeah. So, yeah, that's one of the biggest reasons I don't read comments, you all. I get sidetracked, and my thought process goes out the door. It does because I go out of the moment in my thing. Our dream states make us aware of what is really going on in our conscious state. It's true, it does. Um, and we may not be aware of it. We may not whatsoever. I used to have nightmares. I did. I used to have nightmares that I was having to go back to Nevada. We lived in Nevada, Henderson, Nevada, for 7 years. And my husband had a thing against the state of Indiana. When he grew up, he had a very bad experience. And he blamed the state of Indiana for the choices that he made and the things that he did. Therefore, when he was a teenager, 18 years old, he joined the military and he moved out. But he held a grudge against the whole entire state, and I didn't have a bad experience growing up. But when we were in our younger years of our marriage in Nevada, he loved it there, and he said, "I'm never moving back to Indiana." And he would get mad at me, and he would say that because he knew that would affect me, that would hurt my feelings, because he knows I had a good experience here, and I loved living here, and I have my family here just like him. But he would get upset with me, and he would say it in an angry tone, "I'm never moving back to Indiana. I'm moving back here." um, because of the way in the whole entire state. And I said, you're going to blame every single person in the state of Indiana because of how your choices, what you did, and you had a bad experience. You're going to blame the whole entire state. Uh, he held that, he threw that at me for years in the military when he would get upset and I'm never moving back because he knew it made me upset. And I tell you what, he wasn't in his right mind. He wasn't. He said he was acting strange, you all, off and on throughout our marriage. And I just look at him and when people get angry, they say things just, if you're in a certain mindset, you ever live with somebody, they say things just because they know it can get under your skin. And he did it. He did. And he can say something now, and guess what? Years later, I don't care. I don't care. It's just words, and I'm going to tune you out if you say anything. He's not that person anymore. He's not. But when we were young, um, childlike, childish, very childish, immature, um, we tend to think of ourselves. A lot of men do. I'm just going to say men do. Very childish. It's their way. It's what they want when they want it. If you're a man, don't take it personal. I'm just speaking from a personal experience. Um, they don't consider the other person because they've been babied. Everything was their way or no way. That's how it was. I'm giving myself a hot flash. I'll take off my shoes this time, not my jacket. So, so I used to have nightmares of going back to Nevada and being stuck in that same house, and I couldn't stand it. The enemy, the spiritual realm, when I would dream, it's like the spiritual realm wanted to rub that in my face, that dark side of the spiritual realm, and they would bring me back to that house. And even after I had gone from there for years, move me back at the current age that I was and my family, they would do that. And it just happened and happened and happened and happened. And then one time, the last time I had a dream like that, and it was like last year, I was brought back to that house, and my children were the age they are now. And as I was there, I saw my children there in the age they are now, and the age they were then at that house. And I was just looking, and there was no like bad feelings or whatever. And I was looking, and they were in that moment at that age, and they were in that moment at their age right now. So let's talk like 20 years later, because we moved to Nevada in 91 and we left Nevada, whatever 7 years were, we left Nevada there around 98. So, yeah, they were so many years later in the moment at that particular morning. It's like an overlap of timelines in the dream state. And it really got me thinking. Since I entered this arena, I like to say arena, this UFO community, this spiritual community, I've really learned a lot, and it's helped me work through a lot of things in my life. It has a whole lot of things within me, but it really got me to thinking when I saw that. I was there in the moment. My children were there too, and I could see them, what they were doing at that moment in time, and I would look at them, and they could be there too. So it's like okay, you can't use this against me anymore because now I see what's going on. I did. I saw what was going on. You can't use it against me. That's the past, and this is the present, and I'm not there no more. Um, you dream taking off and flying. I used to dream that too when I was younger. Dreams are the fifth dimension, and you'll fly and levitate in your dreams all the time. Love you too, Robin. So, The dream state, another realm. And do you think that the virtual reality is trying to imitate the other realm? Do you? Are they in with the virtual reality, are they trying to, well, I'm just going to answer it myself from my own being inside here, my spiritual being, and I've always felt this way since I started this journey. They want their own species and they want to create their own world. They do, because they don't like this species that we are. They don't like the spirit inside of us. Um, they don't, because they cannot create exactly what we are, how we were created. They can't do it. And so they're doing the next best thing. The thing they can only do is try to, you know, do what they do. And the reality, take us out of the physical world, put us in a virtual reality where we cannot physically connect, but we do it virtually. Now we're doing it virtually right here, and it's okay. I don't mind it one bit, but I don't want to walk around with things on my head like these video games. Do whatever you want in this video game. You can do whatever you want, it says. And it shows this, it's an ad, it's a silly ad that pops up on look like when you go to the webcam taxi or something like that. It shows this half-clad woman with a big chest with straps on her. It's like some kind of a warrior game, and they say you can do whatever you want to in this game. And I'm thinking, you know what? And I think they really do mean whatever you want. See, why do you got to dress women half clad and make them look like a sex object for you to do what you want, you to let people do what they want to women? Why? I think that's wrong. I really do. Why you got to dress women like that? Now, some women might want to dress like that, but to lure young people in with stuff like that and older people and into that dream world, that other escape into video games, that's the same thing. You know, you do your temptation, just putting it in for like candy, eye candy, and appealing to that part of the individual, that lustful part. You all just like, yeah, don't, my God. I don't like it. I don't like it. Don't be doing that and do fantasy. And it's like y'all, I'm sorry. It's like these sex robots, sex dolls. You don't need the human. We got these things that will do everything a woman. If your woman won't do this, get you one of these because they'll fulfill your fantasies. They'll fulfill your fantasies. They're appealing to a certain nature within the individual. They are. It really is. It's like you don't need the other human part, the other opposite female or the opposite male. No, we got this fake, this non-human robotic thing or non-human mannequin, and you can treat it like the real thing. They got it, you all. They got it. And you don't even want to go there. You don't even want to go there. And you have to ask yourself, why are they making things like this? Why is the sex industry making things like this and pushing it out there and trying to lure people in with that part of that individual? Why? Why appeal to that? Say you don't need whatever. It's a further erosion of people, the human being. It's like degrading the human being, degrading them. It's making them look like, they're not nothing. Why do you want to do that to a human being? Why? To another living being? Because you don't like that human race. You don't. You want your own race. You want your own species, more or less, your own species. This type of talk gets me in trouble. It does. Uh, I need to stay focused. Danny, honey, it's the truth and you know it. It's you know it. You know it. If the women had their choice, like leave me alone. I got things I want to do. Leave me alone. I got things I want to do. I ain't got time for that. I don't got time for that. Yeah. It's funny, you all. It really is. Oh my gosh, you all. There's more to life than that, you all. I'm here to tell you there's more to life than that other part of the human relationship. Especially when you get older, you realize it. When you're young, it's fun. It really is fun. It is. But as you get older, well, I guess you can have the both of, the best of both sides if you want. But yeah, some people say, leave me alone. Let me do my own thing. Bom dia. That's right. I'm telling it how it is. I really am. Some people got a one-track mind. They do. You got a one-track mind, and that's all they think about it. Men are hardwire, I heard. If you read books, that's their number one thing. As long as they got that, then they're kind of happy. I used to think that that would work, but it never did work in my early marriage because you give, 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 and you thought, well, I thought that would not make you less. I thought that would make you less grouchy, but it didn't. It didn't, you all. It did not. And if you've got a situation like that, you think, well, it makes them happy. Yeah, it's momentary happiness. It don't last. If they ain't right, if they got a screw loose, you all, it don't work. It don't because you give, 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 and they want more, more, more. Oh my goodness. And you all, if you are having that done, if you think that's going to make somebody happy and it don't make them happy, then they truly do. Now, this is reality. They truly do have like a void on the inside of them. They do. And there's nothing you can do to fill that void because you may find yourself give, 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 really. And it's just momentary because it fades away and and then they get back into the state of mind and then you give, 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 and it's momentary and you find yourself going around in a circle, it's because a void on the inside. It's like the person who we have addictions and it's stemming from a void and emptiness on the inside. You can't stop it and you're trying to find something to bring you momentary happiness. You are um, on the inside. Hello. But I'm talking about the dream state here. And I have no idea how my mind got on that. I don't. Yes, insatiable base desire. Um, yeah, they do. They got a screw loose. Now, I will say, not all are like that, but some are like that. Some are like that. Some. Um, that's okay. Hopefully they grow out of it, you all. There may be hope for you women at the end of the tunnel. There may be. Give yourself a little bit more years. There might be hope for you or the man. There might be hope for you. Give them a little bit more years to get wore out. That's right. Yes. Oh, Lisa. Yeah, that's something like that too. Absolutely, you all. I'm sorry. There's more to life than that. There really is. And you know, it even if a person like is addicted to something like that, it shows up in their dream state too. Isn't that weird? Because it's a carryover into the other realm. It is. Um, yeah. This may not be too much. Yeah, I hope I didn't say anything inappropriate. I didn't at all. In his 40s and he's worn out. King's Farm, that's perfect. That's perfect. It is perfect, you all. You can just continue on and doing your own thing and doing your things together, and you can find happiness just like that. You can. And then, yeah. Yo, you're so welcome at 4:15. Getting ready for work this morning. That's awful early. Absniffkitty. That's right. It's okay, you all. Our dreams really do. It's like another form of reality. And there is a lot of interest into the dream state. And then you've got like this regressive therapy or regression therapy They want to see what happened and when you get abducted. That's right. Love, Love, at the core of your being. When you get abducted and you have no memory of it and they can go back and they can see what happened because they know how. Um, so if they can go back and they can see what happened, how can they dismiss that something happened just because it may seem far-fetched? When um, they have specialists in those areas, you all. Specialists in those areas. It's an area of study in the academic world, in the dream state, in the psychology, and all of that kind of stuff. Experts. Um, that's right, you all. Yes, you had a dream you was in a magic school. Isn't that wonderful, you all? I've got back I got back on my topic. I read a comment and it literally messed up my train of thought, you all. I guess well, everything happens for a reason. I really do believe that everything does happen for a reason. Somehow, some way, there's some kind of good into it, you all. You love the dream state. Yeah, isn't that great? You don't have nightmares anymore. You don't. But you may have, like a lot of people, earlier part of the year. Why did it happen like that, you all, really? The earlier part of the year, the first part of the year, it's like you're fine before you go to sleep. And then you wake up the next morning, your neck, you can't move your neck. You feel like you got whiplash. Can't move it to side because it feels like somebody twisted your neck off while you were streaming and they did something to your back and your shoulder. That's the first part of the year. And then, like, you wake up and your joints are so sore. It's like me, I was perfectly fine when I went to sleep, and then I woke up. First we had the neck and the shoulder stuff that happened to us in the dream state. And then massive headaches and stuff like that. And then you wake up and my knees, when I woke up that time, my knees were so swollen. I could not put pressure on them. I couldn't bend them. I could barely walk. It's like my knees were bent backwards in my dream state. They busted my knees. Um, I am now like 99 point, I'm around 90. No, I shouldn't say 99. I'm 98% better. And that's been 3 months ago with my knees. Um, it's wild, you all. Something happens in the dream state. And it happened around the first part to the middle part of the years. Gina, you would learn a lot. I need to know, what do I need to know? I have a lot of things that I personally, if I wanted to be in that, and now I'm not even going to address this, no, because I have a lot of people telling me that I would learn a lot. Maybe I'm learning what I'm supposed to learn, and I'm touching on the topics that I'm supposed to touch on and speaking about what I'm supposed to speak about, because that's what's given to me. And if I'm given something else to speak about, it will be within my spirit, and I will be drawn to speak about it. Am I a person who is going to focus on one subject? No, I don't got time for it. I don't, I promise you, I don't. I I touch on a lot of different subjects, and years ago I would focus on. That's all I focused on: earthquakes, NEXRADs, the ghost satellites, and HARP. I focused solely on that. That was my mindset years ago. It was, and I didn't focus on nothing else. But now I just I touch lightly. I touch lightly, and I keep my mind open. Um, I try not to. I can listen to what is in the comments if I read them, but to go and study and listen to what other people want me to listen to. Don't take it personally. What I may find interesting, someone else may not find interesting because it may not vibrate with them. They may not have that desire within them to do that. Just because I think something looks really good or somebody's really good looking, somebody else may look at somebody and say, well, I don't think they're that good looking. Or, that was a really good show. You need to watch that show. It's a really good show. I've been told that before by my husband. It's a really good show. And I watched it and I thought, no, I don't even like that type of show. It was all right. So we all have different opinions. We do, different interests. And that's what makes us unique. It does, you all. I'm not going to necessarily like the same things that people like or think the same way that people think because our thought processes are different. They are. Um, would I have like maybe a slight a bit of interest? Yeah, but that's all it is. It's just a slight a bit of interest like that in a lot of the things that people may have a great big of interest in. Just because I might speak about it, it doesn't mean that I want to go head first into it. No, it doesn't. I really don't got time for it anyhow. I'm a free spirit. I am. Hello, you all. So I am going to go. I'm going to get down in that basement and finish my work. But is the dream realm another realm? Is it really, when we dream, is it another realm of reality? Hello, Susan B. Honey. Yes, I think it intermingles, it blends in with our real world reality. And sometimes if you have a problem in real life and you're trying to figure it out, you go to sleep and you find your answer in your dream state. So the two do connect and they do go together. Yes, you dreamed you were fighting 3 large wolves. The third one you sent sailing through the air. Yeah, isn't that interesting? And they're symbolic too. They're very symbolic. Dreams are symbolic. And one would say dreams are real. In that realm, they are. Because you ever have a dream and it's not a good dream and you wake up and you're breathing really heavily because you just thought, oh my gosh, it affected you. And you still have that same state of mind upon awakening. It didn't go nowhere. It was still there in your dream state, but you remember it quite well, what you went through. Yeah. So I am going to go. And with that being said, hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello. From my heart to yours. Love you. Have a wonderful rest of your morning, you all. Thank you for your comments. I try not to read the comments because it gets me out of focus. It does. If I'm trying to focus on something. And yeah, don't take it personal. Don't. Love you. Thank you, Susan B. Honey. And yeah, I know it's early, you all. Love